Brian Lehrer on WNYC, and talking about low-wage work, or in most cases, low-wage work. We're going to end today with a call-in for teenagers who have looked for a summer job for this summer. Did you find one, given the current job market? Or if you're a parent of a teenager who's been looking for a summer job, did your teenager find one? And if so, what? And what have you gone through looking for a job in this job market? 212-433-WNYC. This is on summer youth employment, teen jobs. If you're the teenager, did you find a job? Maybe you didn't if you're listening to the show right now at 13 minutes before 12 o'clock in the morning. Or if you're a parent of a teenager, how did that go? And do you think it was different than recent years, where maybe the job market, the entry-level job market in particular, wasn't so tight? 212-433-WNYC, 212-433-9692. And some context is that most teens used to work summer jobs, but things have changed. It's not just that jobs are harder to find. It's that in the 1980s, according to the Public Radio Marketplace, which did a thing on this, 2 out of 3 U.S. teenagers had paying jobs over the summer. Now it's only about 1 in 3. And it's not just because teenagers don't want to work during the out-of-school time, the Gen Z is lazy myth. A lot of them really, really do. Economists say that employers are increasingly unwilling to hire younger workers, and that teens are increasingly competing with older workers, including those over 65. Many businesses say they can't afford to hire more staff, period. By the way, the over 65s is another thing that we didn't get to with Ann Larson in her book. She documented so many older workers who've worked many years at supermarkets who just keep working at these jobs that they would rather retire from because they can't afford to retire. But this year, the summer jobs market for teens is especially rocky from all the reporting we've seen. Nationally, youth employment for this summer is expected to hit an 80-year low, according to Newsday. So help us report this story. If you're a teenager and you have a summer job, maybe you work the night shifts or you're available to call in right now, what was it like? Or what was it like looking for that job? Or if you can't find a job, call and tell us what you've been applying for, what kinds of responses, if any, you've been getting. Same thing if you're the parent of a teen. Help us report the story of this year's summer teenage job market. 212-433-WNYC. What's the state of summer employment for teens in your family's personal experience this year? 212-433-WNYC, 212-433-9692. And for that matter, if you're an employer, maybe you have an opening right now for, one of the classic summer teenage jobs, ice cream scoopers. I did that when I was a teenager. Lifeguards, bussers, cashiers, any other seasonal jobs a teenager could do. And is it different? Is there this trickle down from AI? That's one of the theories, right? That entry-level jobs for college graduates are harder to find this year than in many years past because AI is taking a lot of entry-level jobs. Well, what are those college grads doing? That's trickling down to them taking a lot of service jobs that might otherwise be teenage summer jobs. Have you had this experience as a roadblock to finding employment for yourself or the teenager in your family? 212-433-WNYC, 212-433-9692. And just as a tack on, we'll probably do this as a separate call-in on another day. Did you see the piece in The Cut with the headline, "Every Teen Should Work in the Service Industry"? Compelling case from Catherine Jeser Morton, who says, we try to model respectful behavior for our kids and we try to teach them to be responsible for their actions. Well, she's arguing, that teenagers shouldn't just have privileged professional class internships. Every teenager should work a service industry job for a while. So parents, anyone else, you can agree or disagree with that. and tell us about your experience for yourself as a teenager or for the teen in your family with the summer teen employment market right now. 212-433 WNYC, 212-433-9692. Call or text, and we'll take your stories right after this. Brian Lehrer on WNYC. Now to your stories involving the teenage summer job market this year. I'm going to start with Margot in Portland, Oregon. Margot, you're on WNYC. Hello from New York.
Good morning from Portland, Oregon.
Tell us your story.
So I have a 16 and a 19-year-old, and when I was 14, I worked at McDonald's and a bunch of other, customer service jobs through all my high school. And my boys are just as eager to work. They've made flyers to mow lawns and tutor. They have applied at every fast food place, every Starbucks, everywhere you can imagine. My now 19-year-old finally got a job after, 3 years of summer job searching, finally got a job pumping gas last summer. This summer, after another kind of, fruitless search, I got him an internship at my company, which was a little bit of a coup. And my 16-year-old, they apply everywhere they can. The places that you go through Dairy Queen and it says we're hiring. You can't even find the link online. If you can, no one will ever call you back. You go in with an application and ask to talk to a hiring manager. You think they're
hiring older workers? You think that's it?
I don't know who they're hiring. I mean, I'm very sympathetic to the older workers who need jobs, but I just don't know how anyone gets a job besides maybe word of mouth. I mean, the only who've gotten jobs when they're teenage
or knowing
friends.
Somebody somehow. Margot, thank you very much. Appreciate your call. Sarah in Trumbull, you're on WNYC. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi there. Tell us your story.
I have been looking for a job since school has been over, and no one's hiring, and you have to be 18, and I'm 17, almost 18. September 2nd is my birthday, and they don't even look at my applications, and it's so annoying.
So what are you doing this summer?
My parents aren't giving me that much money, and I am looking everywhere still, day by day, for a job.
Sarah, good luck. Marty in Summit, you're on WNYC. Hi, Marty.
Hi, Brian. Long time, first time. My 15-year-old son last summer couldn't get anything. He looks like he's 22. He applied at the local bike shop. He could put bikes together with his eyes closed, and they would have loved to hire him, but then he had to have an interview with the corporate owners in California, and they said, "You're too young. We can't hire you." This summer was the same, although now that he's 15, he will be taking his lifeguarding, because I was a lifeguard, and it is a fun, great summer job. But my amazing wife found him opportunities to both volunteer at the local elder care Sage in Summit, where he repairs furniture, totally volunteer, but he's with a great group of people who love him. And right now, we dropped him off Friday. He's in Spain on a program called Pueblo Inglés, where it's total immersion language for Spanish kids learning English. So he doesn't get paid, but we pay nothing but airfare. And for 2 weeks, he's east of Madrid, speaking and meeting kids from all over the world.
He's a 15-year-old English teacher.
Exactly. And all he needs to do, he's not teaching, he's just having conversations.
Yeah.
So he's not making any money, but we've kept him busy by volunteering.
That's so cool. And you had to subsidize him in that context. Listener writes, my 16-year-old daughter has been trying to get a job for a while and applied to about 8 to 10 jobs and didn't hear back at all from most. She's very happy to have just gotten a job at Sky Zone. And she also has a great paid internship at KIDS, a youth mental health support org. One more. Will in Westchester, you're on WNYC. Hey, Will.
Hi, how you doing? Well, I live up in a smaller town, not upstate, but I think I worked all through high school. I'm going in my sophomore year of college, so I'm a 19. And, I was able to work all through high school, but I never had to really apply through a job because the way people, everyone I knew got a job is you just know someone. Someone whose older brother works somewhere, or, someone's parent owns a smaller business,
But
that's
now,
how you got jobs around here. Sorry?
But now it seems harder. Well, we're going to have to leave it there because we're out of time. But Will, thank you very much. Call us again. Thank you for your largely frustrated, unfortunately, calls on the summer job search. We'll continue, obviously, to follow the economy and your personal stories regarding it in all kinds of ways. Thanks for listening today. Now stay tuned for all of it.
WNYC's journalism and storytelling is heard by millions of passionate listeners. Sponsors of our programming gain our listeners' attention and their respect. Learn about how your organization can support WNYC and WNYC Studios at sponsorship.wnyc.org.
The United States is about to mark its 250th anniversary.
And so, on the Global Story podcast from the BBC, we're telling surprising tales of American influence on the world stage and in ordinary people's lives all across the globe.
We have this ability to export our story, and a lot of people have bought it.
I feel like the American dream is alive but not well.
From the BBC, it's the United States at 250.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube.